Okay, guys, we're here for Tuesday media availability with Travers family head football coach Justin Wilcox. We'll go ahead and let me know in the chat if you have questions. We'll ask for a single question the first time around, and then we'll go beyond that and entertain follow-ups. We'll get started with Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report.
Good morning, Justin. If we can get the obligatory injury update out of the way. I'm wondering about the status of Jay Knott, also Ethan Saunders and Matthew Littlejohn. And on the depth chart, it lists the two quarterbacks separated by oars. I mean, there's some question about who's starting.
Okay, in the injury front, we anticipate Jaden being ready to go. He was out there today. Ethan Saunders is week to week right now. And you asked about Matt Littlejohn. We anticipate him being ready to play as well. As for the quarterbacks, both those guys have got a chance to play. We feel like they're both different styles of quarterbacks. We feel like we got to continue to get better at, just like all positions, but we got to continue to get better at that position. We got to be more efficient at that position, and we'll evaluate that every day throughout the week.
Okay, others with questions, please do let me know in the chat. We'll go to, go down here. Go to Steve Kroner from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Morning, Justin. You're starting the gauntlet of very good Pac-12 quarterbacks this week with Penix. In general terms, as somebody who's been on the defensive side for a long time, is it harder to face a guy who doesn't have quite the mobility, say, of a Bo Nix or a Caleb Williams, but is a dart thrower and can really put the ball almost wherever he wants it, or somebody who isn't quite as accurate but has more mobility?
Steve, that's a good question. There are great quarterbacks who've played this game, and we have some great ones in the conference, as you just mentioned, and they're not always the same. I mean, I imagine you grew up watching different styles of quarterback, and certain guys were, kind of pocket and had rocket arms, and then you had guys that got out of the pocket and were creative and played the game that way. They're both challenging. Great quarterbacks are great quarterbacks, and Michael Penix is a elite quarterback. He's very, very accurate. He can run. He just doesn't need to very much. And he's, they got some really good players around him, but he's an excellent quarterback. I don't know that I can answer your question.
Fair enough.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrato, actually, with no others in the queue at this point. Go ahead, Jeff.
Staying on the topic of their pass attack, Justin, they've obviously got a lot of weapons. Penix doesn't get sacked. It looks like he's got three guys averaging 100 yards receiving. He's got tight ends who are productive. How do you defend this offense? Do you need to get more pass rush, or is it up to your secondary, or all the above, or how do you work this?
You got it, Jeff. Takes everybody. Teams like this, they're top 10 team in the country for good reason. They're leading the country in passing offense by a long ways. We know about the talent at the receiver position, at the quarterback, tight ends. People don't talk about their O-line enough. They do a really good job as well. So it'll be a great opportunity for our defense. See where we're at, and it does. It takes team defense to play well against offense of this caliber. It takes everybody, and it's not just 11 guys. It's going to be guys that rotate in. Whether we're in, nickels or base or whatever. I mean, it's just going to take a bunch of people. It'll be a team effort on defense this week for sure.
As good as they are throwing the ball, does your ability to take the ball away come into play significantly here?
Well, you're always aiming to take the ball away and create possessions. Obviously, that's a goal of ours each and every week. It'll be the same this week. They don't give the ball up very easily, so it'll be, again, another great challenge for our defense.
Okay, others with questions. Steve Kroner. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Justin, the last four games between Cal and Washington have all been really close. Probably the closest matchups you've had against one team in the Pac-12. Is that coincidence, or is there something about the Cal and Washington programs that make them so so close?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a reason for that, Steve. I just know that we've had some battles with them. I got great respect for their program. Our players do as well. And you know, our guys will be excited to play. I mean, this is, you know, we're first game of conference play, top 10 opponent on the road. Best passing offense in the country. You got a defense that's playing really well up there. So our guys are excited. I mean, if you're not excited to play this game, you're in the wrong sport.
Okay, we'll go to Jim McGill from Bear Insider.
Just going back to last Saturday's game, what do you attribute the stark contrast in the start and the finish? The 17 given up and 31 scored.
Yeah, that's kind of an individual by individual basis, Jim. Unfortunately, we played really poorly early, really in every phase of the game. Caught a little bit more rhythm in the second quarter, into the half, coming out of the half. There wasn't a huge difference in what we were doing. We just did it better. I think it's learning how to get yourself ready. We had a really good week of practice, but we did not perform well in large spurts during the game. So we've got to do a better job as a team, collectively, and the individuals on the team, making sure that we're able to go play our best football each and every opportunity we get, because there's just so few of them.
Do you feel like the tempo and the depth began to wear them down eventually?
The tempo and the depth of our team,
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I don't know. I think we just, honestly, Jim, we started making the plays that we weren't making in the first half. We were more efficient on offense with the ball, making better decisions with the ball, where it should go. I think defensively, we got off the field on some third and fourth downs, the critical downs we call them, but we still on defense didn't feel. I mean, even after the game, that just, it's kind of it was a bit Jekyll and Hyde, and it's been that way at times this year. We've had some stretches where we play good defense, and then we've had some moments where we don't play good defense at all, and so we got to do a better job of being more consistent in our play, and that's one of the challenges that we've addressed this week with the guys.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrado. Go ahead, Jeff.
You got a couple of guys, Justin, obviously in Jackson Sermon and Taj Davis, who played at Washington and be going back there, I think, for the first time. But especially for Taj, the guy who was just there last year, what do you imagine this game will be like for him?
Jeff, I don't know. I think in this era of college football, we're going to see this more and more, where guys are playing against, teammates from a year ago. It's just the atmosphere of college football, and so we don't really talk about it too much. I mean, Taj has done a good job here. He's actually in the last couple of weeks playing better and better. I mean, he's practicing really hard. He's running to win, and so I'm excited for him. But I don't want to speak for him on how he feels about something. We don't talk about it in the team meeting or anything like that. We got enough things that we need to be concentrated on as a football team and as individuals.
And can I ask you, how good do you think Rome Odunze is? I mean, he looks like he's bigger than he was last year, and seems to have great hands. How much of a challenge is he?
Yeah, I think he's an excellent player. I mean, Rome, number 1, Polk, number 2, McMillan, 11. The tight ends. Those guys are all really, really good players. And Rome, number 1, he's a big guy. They list him 6'3", 215, and I bet he's all of that. Yeah. So he's a very talented guy.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Wright for California.
Good morning, Justin. Late in the game, it looked like Maven Anderson saw the field. Was he on a snap count, and do you anticipate his role increasing as Pac-12 play comes around?
The amount of time he was able to practice during the week, that's really what contributed to that. He wasn't able to go as much during the week as he or we would have liked. So that's how the game worked out. And so we're hoping to continue to increase that if we can. But it's, this is a the capacity for work and making sure he's ready to go. And you need the week of practice to get that done.
Yeah, and do you have an update on Justin Williams-Thomas?
Yeah, week to week at this point. I'd say doubtful for this week, but we're hoping at some point to get him back.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go back to Jim McGill.
Listen, you guys were able to exploit the size advantage and catch radius with some of your big receivers in camp. What will it take to be able to implement that in the game? You don't see too many downfield shots. Tron had one for a touchdown, but don't see a lot of downfield shots so far.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. I agree with you. We need to show in games what we've done in practice and during camp. We have some guys that we think can make some of those plays, but we got to give them the opportunities, and then the guys got to execute when they get a chance to make those plays. But we're working at that. We want to do that. It's been an emphasis of ours. We're emphasizing it again because we did a much better job of that in camp than we have thus far in the season.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrata.
Just to be clear about the quarterback situation, Justin, are you saying that one or the other of them will start and play Saturday, or do you think you could use both of them?
Well, I guess all that could be true, Jeff. So
Pretty much anything could be true.
you
right?
got it.
And on the offensive line, I believe if the participation chart is correct, this was the second week in a row that you used just one reserve. Total of 6 O-linemen. Are you concerned that you need to get more guys in the rotation there? And how much more difficult will that be against even better teams now?
Yeah, we would like to. We think Bastion Swinney could get some more time. Braden Rome's played. So I think there's a couple opportunities, and we want those guys to earn those opportunities through practice, and then when they get in the games, their production in the games. But I think Bastion is working his way into that, and then we got to keep working with the guys that are in there to perform even better. And so I think we still got a lot of room for some of those guys to make big jumps even during the season.
Is it a sort of a catch-22 of not wanting to get a guy on the field during a game who's not maybe ready, but at the same time leaving yourself vulnerable if you have an injury and you don't have somebody who's been sort of force-fed playing time?
Yeah, I think that's the fine line we all walk. And without the crystal ball, you don't know when that time could come. Injuries are an unfortunate part of the game. We don't want anybody to get injured. But we need guys to improve who are playing. And then we also want to make sure we have some guys that are prepared if something were to happen. So there's no perfect answer to that, Jeff. We'll see how it works out this week. But again, as I mentioned before, we think a couple of those guys could work their way into the rotation, and as long as the drop-off isn't, significant, then we want to make sure and rotate some guys, because we rotate guys at a number of positions. We do it at outside linebacker and inside backer and corner and receiver and tight end, so running back. And so I think we want to do that at O-line, but we got to make sure that it's warranted.
Is it one of those things where you go into the game with the best intentions to do that, and then you get in there and you just can't see taking so-and-so out?
That happens. From time to time that'll happen. There's also times where we have set rotations, and regardless of how the game is unfolding, we have the rotations set in stone, and as long as there wasn't an injury. At other times you're hopeful to get some guys in the rotation, but I'd be lying, and I've seen this kind of throughout my career. There are times you want to do things, but the game's going a certain way, and you just need to. You need to do what's best for the team ultimately. So I wouldn't say it's 100% on everything being a planned rotation, but a good chunk of them.
And last thing, is Michael Luckhurst your kicker this week?
Michael will kick this week. He's still getting better and better. And I think I said after the game, I'm proud that he went out there and took the field again, ran out there and kicked. Wasn't perfect, but I think, like we've talked before, he's a talented young man, and just need to find his rhythm. And once he's in his rhythm, he's got the talent to be a very good kicker. So we're going to continue to support him and work with him, and I'm excited for what he can do.
Okay, we'll go back to Thomas Dunn.
Coach, you've been very understanding of what's at stake and what it's going to take to beat Washington. How much more, if at all, of a litmus test is this for your team this week?
I think every week's a test in some way, shape, or form, and this is a great test. I mean, you got a top 10 team, 500 yards a game throwing the football. Defense is giving up 12 points at their place. Pac-12 play. I mean, what a great test. But I think you get them each and every week, and they might be different, but they're all tests, and you only get a certain number of them. So we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to be prepared for those tests and go out and play our best football.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else with the final question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.